Hello there. So today I'm going to show you how SOCRATIVE works. It's a really good website for student engagement. So here's the homepage. You just log in, obviously, as a teacher, or sign up if you don't have an account. Once you've signed in, it will take you to this page here, which is called the launch page. But right now you don't have a quiz, so you can't launch it, obviously. So we're going to go to quizzes to make a quiz first. And over here is the button where you would add a quiz. Now there's two ways to add a quiz. One is to create a new quiz. And as you can see here, it's similar to many of the websites we've used before. It's literally, put the question here, add a picture if you want to, and put your answer choices there, save, and then continue. Now an easier way to do this is to actually, let me just try to exit here without making a quiz. Can I exit at all? Let me just go back if I can. Okay, so I've gone back here to add quiz again. There's an easier way, which is called import. If you import another quiz, you can actually choose another teacher's account and import the quiz if they give you their details. Or you can import from Excel. I find this way easier to do. And as you can see here, I've got the quiz template on the side. So if you import from Excel, it's just an easier way of making your quiz rather than have that big long form. In here, you can write the name of the quiz and then literally choose the question from there. It can be open-ended or multiple choice. And then you write down the question on here and put your answer choices. If you only want to have 4 options, you can just fill in the 4 and leave the E alone. Don't delete it or touch it, it will just stay there. And then from here, you can actually choose the right answers. Again, when you choose multiple choice, you can either choose to have only 1 correct answer or 2 or 3. Whichever choice you have, just make sure that you write it in there what you want the students to do. Once you've made your quiz in here, you'll save it obviously with a name that you'll remember. Close this. And then from over here, you'll actually choose the file from Excel that you're going to import. So as you can see here, I've got the SOCRATIVE quiz template. It won't actually import it because this quiz doesn't have any questions, but anyway, you get the idea. Once you've imported your quiz, you can now start, right? This is a normal quiz. This is some fun game called a space race, which I'll explain in a second. And this is called an exit ticket. I'm sure you've all heard of exit tickets. At the end of the class, if you want to make sure students have learnt, it has the same 3 questions. So, how well did you understand today's material? What did you learn in today's class? And please answer the teacher's question. So you can ask a question right at the end, make sure that the students have understood what you're talking about. So that's kind of the easy one to do. The quiz and the space race need a quiz loaded in there. So I've just got one there, equation of motion. There's 3 different options. You can either have instant feedback, which means the students find out if it's right or wrong every time they answer, or open navigation, or you decide, you move it on to the next question. So most of the time I will choose open navigation. I require the names because obviously I want to have a record at the end of how they've done, and I usually shuffle the questions and the answers, and I want them to know their final score. So then I'll start the quiz. Once I've started the activity, this room number is what the students will have to log in with. So if I just show you quickly a student account, so they'll have to log in. Okay, so this is the student screen that the students will see. They're going to choose student login, obviously, and then they'll have to write your room number, which for me is 657385. And once they do that, they'll receive this screen on this side. If you go back to your screen, you've started a quiz now, so let me just go back to launch, sorry. Okay, so I've got this quiz that I want to launch. I'll press next and I'll choose the options that I had before, and I will actually start the activity. Once that activity has been started, if you just go back to the student page, you'll see there the student gets to type their name in. So I'll write my name and then I'm done. So now I've got the questions over here, and as a student I can answer what the questions are. So if it started from 5:13, I think the answer is. So once I've chosen the answers, I can skip to the next question, okay, as it is over here. And then once I've done, I will just finish the quiz. Obviously, this has just given me a warning that I haven't done all of the questions, and then it will actually give the student the score right at the end, which is obviously nice for the student. As you can see here, you'll be able to see which questions the student answered, which one they had right, which one they had wrong. And then once you press finish over here, you can actually go to this section over here, reports, and you can actually get a report of the students, whatever they did in your class that day. So obviously over here you're going to write the names, and there you're going to show the answers, so you can see again the report at a glance. Another way to launch a quiz is to do a space race. This is nice to do in class. I know that we don't really have this is for online learning, so you might not have this option, but it's nice to know that you could actually get them to put into teams. You might have 3 teams or 4 teams, depending on how many students in your class. Auto assign means that they all get a color at the top of their their iPad or whatever they're using that tells them what color they are. So you can just assign tables. This is magenta, this is teal, cyan, whatever. Again, if you shuffle questions when they're working in teams, it doesn't really work as well because they'll all start with a different question, but you can always shuffle the answers. So at least the questions go in order, but then the answers are shuffled, so they're not just all going A, or B. They're actually, getting a little bit engaged with the material, and then obviously you show the final score. So you start this activity. As you can see now, you'll see this screen over here, and as the students get the answers right, their rockets will actually move and get to the end. So they really enjoy this because it's a lot more interactive than other things can be. When you're launching the space race, you can also get them to choose the colors. So maybe you've already put them into groups, so you can say, right, I want you guys all to choose blue, you guys all to choose magenta, etc. Or you just get the students, they can choose whichever one they want themselves. If you have a SOCRATIVE Pro subscription, you can actually have more rooms, so you can do more things at once. Okay, so I've shown you how to do a quiz, a space race, and an exit ticket. The last thing to show you is the quick question. When you're inside the class, you can actually choose questions to ask them. Sorry, every time you start a new activity, you have to finish the old one, obviously. I just haven't done that. Over here, you can actually do a quick question with them. So you can actually give them options. Maybe you'll put the options on the board, A, B, C, D, E, and the students will get to choose from there. Maybe it's inside your PowerPoint. You've done the options A, B, C, D, E, and they'll get to answer it. There's also a true-false question where they just obviously choose true and false. And the final one is short answered. You can actually write down the question here, or you might have already written it inside your PowerPoint. You can allow the students to answer more than once or just once, and then obviously you can require their names, or it can be anonymous. Again, it just gives you a little bit more flexibility on whatever you want to do. If you have students actually playing this, you'll see that the students can actually vote on what they think is the right answer, wrong answer, etc. So again, it's just a nice activity to use. Finally, the reports can be downloaded as an Excel sheet or individual student PDF or question specific. These 2 options are for Pro. So usually I get the whole class Excel, and then I'll reorder it into alphabetical order, and then just cut and paste that into my gradebook where I'll be saving all of their scores. So I hope you learned from there. I'm trying to do these as fast as I can, so please tell me if you want me to slow down or go faster. I'm just aware that everyone's trying to do as many things as they can online for obvious reasons, recent events in the news. So let me know if you have any comments.